Most respected College Secretary Dr. B. Mahendran Sir, and College Principal Dr. N.R. Sandhi Maheshwari Ma'am, Dr. S. J. Sahai, Director IAMS, and Dr. B. Mahesh Kumar, Head Department of Botany, Convener of this program, Organizing Secretary Dr. V. Uma Ma'am, Assistant Professor of Botany, Dr. Chelladurai, Faculty IAMS, faculty members, my dear students and friends. Very good morning to one and all present here. It gives me great pleasure and honor to introduce the chief guest of this function, Dr. D. Kannan Sir, working as Assistant Professor and Head Department of Botany, Tyagarajar College, Madurai. His field of specialization is biodiversity and ecology. Dr. D. Kannan Sir accomplishments are many. Regarding the research experience, he published more than 40 research articles in national and international journals. He presented more than 30 research papers in various national and international conferences and seminars. He attended more than 8 workshops in various colleges and universities. Awards and recognition. His achievements have been recognized by many different awards. Received gold medal for becoming as the meritorious student in BSc Botany from VHNS College, Virudhunagar. Research Associate Fellowship by CSIR, New Delhi. Amrita Research Initiation Award, Amrita University, Coimbatore. He reviewed one manuscript for Applied Water Science Journal, Springer. A reviewed abstract submitted to 24th International Grassland 11th Rangeland Congress, Kenya. Academic management responsibilities. He appointed and served as committee expert, District Wetland Monitoring Committee, Sivaganga District, Tamil Nadu. He served as member in Board of Studies for Botany in various colleges and university. He acted as a member in various committees constituted by Tyagarajar College, Madurai, member in NAG Steering Committee, Tyagarajar College 4th Cycle, member Editorial Board DJ's Channel, Deputy Controller of Examination and Coordinator for Nature and Environment Club. He organized International Symposium, Healing Across Cultures, Amrita University, Coimbatore. He organized Intercollegiate Students Seminar. He initiated Incubation Center of Tyagarajar College, Wealth from Solid and Liquid Wastes, Recycling Management at Tyagarajar College, Madurai. Sponsored research. He received research project from various funding agencies including Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Changes, Government of India, and one research project from National Medicinal Plants Board, Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Government of India. He also received one project from Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, India. Dr. T. Kannan Sir, membership with various forums including International Rangeland Congress for Central Asia and Mongolia region, Wetland Management Authority, Sivaganga District, since September 2016. Under his guidance, 2 PhD research scholars completed their PhD program and 3 more scholars pursuing their PhD program. So such a great dynamic person with us. I kindly request you to all make use of this opportunity. Thank you once again.
Good morning to all. I am very happy to be here to present you my talk on the health impact assessment on COVID-19 session for this August webinar seminar organized by the G.Venkataswamy College, Coimbatore. First of all, I would like to thank the management, the principal and Dr. Mahesh Kumar, who is the organizing secretary of this webinar for the August gathering and for the benefit of all the communities of this college to have a better understanding of COVID-19 and also their service to be extended to the global communities in terms of their organizing this particular seminar in this crucial period. My talk will be focusing on the various aspects of environment health impact assessment on COVID-19. So we all know about the various impacts what we have been experiencing because of this pandemic. First of all, we need to understand what is pandemic. Pandemic and epidemic are the usual terms which are very much impressed to look into the fine details to safeguard us from the dangers of this pandemic and epidemic. Epidemic is a case where we can exposed to various kinds of disease through infection. The infection will be spreading from somebody else, including human beings. The nearby one are from air, or through animals, or from any other organisms. The disease may have spread. The various examples of epidemic is available, including the flu, influenza, and so on. However, this pandemic is also a type of epidemic. However, the severity is very dangerous than the epidemic to be considered. So the pandemic disease of this COVID-19 has been reported in the past 2019, that is on 2019, the last month, that is on December, from China. Later, it has been spreading to almost all the countries in the world. We come across various happenings about this COVID-19 danger to all the human beings suffering in all parts of the world. That losses, that rips away the life of people, human beings, and it has been causing a severe damage to the entire human beings' life and their livelihood. The country's economy has been dwindling, and most of the countries nowadays it is being suffering how to protect human beings and the property of their country from this pandemic COVID-19. In this talk, we will have an overview, the key understanding of HIA process, levels and characteristic, and then corona impacts, and things to be done to understand, and after that the end note will be discussed. What is health risk assessment? It is a very new topic to us, even though we are practicing. The principle is a combination of procedures, methods, and tools supplied in a strategic evaluation. So, what do you mean by a strategic evaluation? Is a systematic evaluation and assessment of the potential broad range of environmental and social effects on health related to policy, plan, or project. So HIA can include the following. This can be included with the communicable diseases or the pandemic diseases, and the equipment accidents and exposure to hazardous materials or conditions. Say for example, some days before, some of the village people they have exposed to the gaseous outflow from a company operation. That is also coming under the health risk assessment. So now we will move on to the other aspect of the better understanding of the spread of corona spread and its decline. The first phase of pandemic is an exponential rate that starts with China and then throughout Asia, Europe, and the United States, and then to Russia, now entered vigorously into Africa. Why not? India is also getting trouble due to this pandemic, and then the exponential growth and exponential decline are most intuitive. Intuitive in the sense it is not innate behavior. In some countries it behaves differently. Children's and age group of people, it is also different. So it is different from place to place. Its behavior is erratic, so that we cannot predict anything about this spread. The spread depends upon the people's behavior also, behavior in the regions and countries, their culture, their tradition, and way of approaching the communities. Therefore, the innate behavior and culture plays a big role in the extent of the spread or control. We have a very good food culture in India, especially in southern India. So even if it is affected to the people safeguard themselves by means of having the healthy food, so that the death rate in Tamil Nadu is far better than any place in the world. Say it is mere 0.6% of death rate from the affected total population. So it is a very good example. The culture and the behavioral aspects of people is very important to understand about the HIA process. And by changing behavior, the infection rate becomes to play to that comes down and start to come down. We always have a very big question. Today, what will be the corona status? Whether it will be declining or that will be increasing. So the answer is that is dwindling. A lot of debates is going on among the population whether the corona will be declining or increasing. The reproduction rate is usually measured by a factor called R0. So if 100 infections in a community is being expected, after 40th day, we will have the final corona numbers will be 17 infections at the lower reproduction rate or 3,200 at the higher one. That depends upon the cultural aspects, about the behavioral aspects of the communities and the self-discipline among the population, whether they have involved in the community spread or not. So, in most of the cities in Tamil Nadu, we adopt the practice of social distance, so that that has been controlled greatly. Whereas in places like Madras city, the second case would be the reason for the higher rate. And debating how now just how long to keep the relative reproduction rate at a lower rate to drive down the number of cases before opening up begins. That's a very big question. And the movement of population and the spread of the corona is highly confusing, but it is inevitable from the exponential nature of infection. Now comes health impact assessment categories. There are two categories of health impact assessment. One is the rapid appraisal of health impact assessment, that is very short term and instant. Say for example, in the road construction, how will impact the human health? Now for the corona, a comprehensive HIA that is a very long term, suitable to study the impact analysis of pandemics and surges and severe outbreaks of epidemics. So HIA to corona outbreak has to be applied with this category. Let's see the method of assessment of HIA. The group of research activities being developed to identify the health impacts of projects and policies, both prospectively and retrospectively. So in the retrospective case of corona spread, we will see how the spread has come, where is the origin of this particular corona virus infection, and at what path it took to the world to reach every place. Likewise, we can assess, and it is a structured way of bringing together evaluation, partnership working, public consultation, and available evidence for more explicit decision making. Now we have the guidelines from the WHO, who is the prime agency to look into the HIA, and then to the local governments elsewhere. And from the local governments, we have the district authorities to give the guidelines. and the general concepts can be illustrated by looking at a compiled assessment. Now, the steps in HIA is in a very good sequence like screening. In the screening, team building, legislative requirements identification, the collection of information, health evaluation, reviewing of project design, and stakeholder selection, and decision to have or not applying HIA for any particular disease. And then the scoping. The scoping is a set of geographical time scale, whether it is to village or the small hamlet or a big town or to the entire country, and the population boundaries to be assessed. And the baseline data has to be collected by the literature review by environment health area, evaluation of existing country survey and research data. Now, for this corona outbreak assessment, it is very, very essential. It is crucial also. The age factor and the fellow who is already having the body complaints, the body obesity, all together plays a very big role in this corona. And the data validation and the further statistical analysis are quite important in the steps of HIA. Further steps involved by the assessment, that is the detailed description of risks and potential causal factors. The potential causal factors for corona is very determinant, that is the virus, the coronavirus. And the factors influencing the spread is also there. So whatever factors has to be done, this can be assessed. This may be an environmental factor, this may be a social cause, or whatever may be can be assessed and has to be listed out. And the health action plan has to be formed. That is the mitigation approach action and the resource flows and the responsibilities. Now we have the mitigation approach action plan chalked out by the Government of India through the states is being received. That is being addressed for the curing of the disease and the coming back after recovery and the economy status improvement and so on. And the recommendation reporting is the another step, followed by finally the monitoring and evaluation. The key performance indicators of the monitoring evaluation has to be followed. First of all, lastly we need to undertake the federal central government and the state and local bodies like corporation, municipal, town, village, panchayat unions, legislation, measures has to be followed. So the Koilpatti place may be different from the place of Madurai. So one place legislation may not be suitable to the communities there. So we need to adapt that particular situation wherever we are. Now the process outcome is multiple. The health impact assessment is aimed for the overall development with a positive effect on health, especially through the stimulation of employment, education, public transportation, and well-designed leisure facilities like tourist operations. Now, the implementation framework include the following like social integration, employment, economy, education and skills. Now, the skill development for education. Now, most of the educational institutions, they started operating the e-learning program. Once it was a dream, now it is being a well-evident program. Even the school education starts this e-learning programs. The environmental safety and programs and services for the development of this has been showed by changes in political priorities. Now, the benefits of HIA is very much like that properly addresses a chronic disease like asthma, diabetes, heart disease. Even though they are looking at the similar effect, both the heart disease and other heart related infection may be different. So the particular benefit is addressing the very specific chronic disease and improve to assess the health supportive resources and improve equity and increase physical activity. Now, the improve equity in the sense every community is coming together to save guard from the corona pandemic effect and improve safety and reduce human exposure to transportation related emissions. Now, it is a very good evidence that shows that without emissions of greenhouse gases, the entire area is pollution free. Reduced motor vehicle related injuries and fatalities. Now, the drastically coming down of all the havocs is because of this HIA and reduce transportation contribution to air pollution. Though we are at the end point of this session, this may not be an end. At this stage, experts indicate that corona cannot be wiped out from the occurrence in the near future. That is unfortunate. However, we need to stick on to this very important point. We need to live with the corona infection and we need to go with the corona infected population. Also, the World Health Organization makes a strong note that in the coming days, about 12 lakhs of infants and children would be affected by this corona disease or the pandemic. It's a very difficult situation to face. However, we have the hope to go away from this situation and the self-sustained existence and performance at all levels to be required. Say for example, my hairs are growing like a forest because of the closure of all the shops, saloons. From now, I should think that I should manage my own hair cutting. Also, the teachers, they need to adopt the practice of handling the online classes. And also the students, they need not to wait with degree and looking for jobs. They need to go for their own self-employment or the entrepreneurship skills for their employment, self-employment. Also, all the communities need to change their mind. That is the only alternate, only solution to live with corona. And it is a very difficult situation. The HIA principles adopted case studies will support the vision of World Health Organization that complete stopping of any disease is impossible. However, the healthy life by all means of social well-being is the key to sustain the human race. I am very much thankful to you all presenting in this webinar, and my email ID is given here in this screen. You can use the email ID for any kind of doubts, clarifications or any comments on this particular presentation. Thank you one and all present here. Also my your WhatsApp message can be received by me to this number 999-410-8836. Once again, I am thankful to the management, the principal and the coordinator of this all the sessions of this seminar, Dr. Magesh Kumar, and the audience, the students of G.Venkataswamy College, with a very big thanks. Thanks, one and all.